Hi everyone, I'm here with a fragrant sage. This is Salvia microphylla, which comes from the Greek meaning small-leaved. And with most fragrant sages, the flowers are not the source of the fragrance. It's the leaves and the stem, which have oils in them. This one is also called mountain sage, baby sage, blackcurrant sage, and grand sage. And it smells so good. I'm going to talk about the aroma. Before I get into that, I just started my bestsellers 50% off sale. So it's over 200 perfumes and enfleurage that are half off on the website, and then the sale is also going in the Etsy shop, and the code is bestsellers50, and that's in the Etsy shop. You don't have to use a code. So this is a sage that is native to southeastern Arizona, as well as mountains, hence the name mountain sage, in Mexico, particularly in the east, the west, and the south. And it's a really complex species that easily hybridizes with other sage, in particular Salvia greggii, which is also called autumn sage or Texas sage. And so, and then this sage, Salvia microphylla, has an epithet in Mexico. It's called Mirto de Montes, which means myrtle of the mountains. And the way I would describe the scent profile, and I have some notes here, it's butyric, meaning buttery, with like a really pleasant balsamic back note that has balsamic in the sense of like a body odor scent that you find in some sages. And so because it has that buttery aspect and then the body odor aspect, I would say it's kind of, the scent is kind of a cross between Cleveland sage, Salvia clevelandii, and Dominica sage, which is Salvia dominica. And that one is also called Jerusalem sage sometimes. So it has the buttery aspects of Cleveland sage without Cleveland sage's kind of poultry seasoning, like savory aspect. This is more sweet and minty. And then it has the body odor notes of Dominica sage, without Dominica sages, has this like ostentatious, fruity, lime, almost tropical profile, and that's not present here. This kind of has, hence the name, the blackcurrant sage name for this sage too. It's got some blackcurrant aspect, which blackcurrants can have that like cat pee note, which is sort of akin to the body odor note I'm picking up on. But so there's this creamy, muted, like blackberry facet with some spearmint in it. But the spearmint, it's not sharp and it's not overly sweet. It's just this kind of laid back sweetness. So this sage does smell fresh. Now I'm getting a little bit of grassiness, but it very smells like it's of the chaparral. So like there's this rugged, sandpapery scent quality, kind of woodsy too. You can really feel all the oiliness in the stem here. And then it has other botanical binomial names besides Salvia microphylla. It's also Salvia grahamii, Salvia lemmonii, and Salvia neurepia. So I'll put these in the caption of the video. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about the, so I mentioned that it will hybridize with autumn sage or Greg sage or Texas sage, which is Salvia gregii, and that one is found from southwest Texas through the Chihuahuan Desert, and it likes rocky soils. And then what was interesting about Dominica sage, which is from a totally different area, it's found in the Eastern Mediterranean, and especially Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, and Israel. And sometimes it's called Jerusalem sage because was one of the salvias that were the flowers of which, or the inflorescence of which, were thought to inspire the design of the menorah. And it has a really beautiful flowering aspect. It kind of looks like clary sage, and it has big fluffy leaves like clary sage that are covered in hairs. These leaves are glabrous, or just very, very finely covered in hairs. And then the way to distinguish this from Salvia gregii is that, I'm trying to do both my cameras here, is that Salvia microphylla here, the leaves are very finely serrated or scalloped, and Salvia gregii, the leaves are smooth, the edges are smooth. So that's one way to distinguish. Salvia gregii is also aromatic. But the interesting thing about Dominica sage that I was reading was that there was a study done by Italian and Jordanian researchers that located 24 new sesterterpenes, not sesquiterpenes, but sesterterpenes, which are rare terpenes that have anti-cancer, possibly anti-cancer properties in Dominica sage. And I was wondering if they just found they were newly discovered within the sage, but no, they were just totally new. 24 totally new sesterterpenes were discovered, and they're present in Dominica sage. So I thought that was really interesting. Just shows how much we still have to learn about plants and their properties. And obviously terpenes are one of the major sources of aroma in plants, especially plants like sage and other plants that have these oil producing glands. And we don't know that much, not only about the medicinal properties, potentials, but the aroma and what aroma compounds contribute to a plant's headspace, or what we perceive as aroma, which is when the molecules enter our sensorium through the air. So and unlike with medical research, there's not a whole lot of researching aroma kind of feels a little bit frivolous. So I think that's also why there's still so much mystery surrounding the sense of plants, and why they can't really be replicated in a lab, because the laboratory replications are so reductive. You're getting far fewer, on the scale of tens, if not hundreds or thousands, fewer molecules going into lab-produced replications of plant scent than what is actually in the actual plant. So I hope you enjoyed this little bit on Salvia microphylla. If you've grown this plant or experienced it in the wild, I'd be really interested to hear about how you would describe the scent.